the first thing I recommend is if you are first starting to try to grow a beard, I would recommend going and trying to grow it out for 3 months. That'd be my recommendation. If you still have patches after 3 months, I would strongly suggest you cannot grow a beard yet. Now, being that I worked at Artist Shaving, as I mentioned in previous videos, there was a client to buy products and things of that nature. He was of that ilk. I told him, try 3 months. If it's still patchy, then it's not going to be good. So what he told me was he went to a doctor after that, and the doctor told him and said to him, you have low testosterone. He got checked for that. He ended up on replacement therapy for it, and lo and behold, he had a perfect beard after that. He could grow it perfectly fine. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but according to him, that's what he did, and that's what solved it. So that's something that may be an option to you guys. If you do have a patchy beard, maybe check for your testosterone, if it's low or not. Sometimes it's serious. It could be genetic. You really don't know until you're examined for it. When you cut a beard, you cut from not up and down. You'll end up cutting chunks out of the beard. Then you have to cut the whole thing off and start again. I don't know how many times I've done this when I first started growing a beard. You try to go up and down here, not a good idea. Second thing, I don't use a guard when I cut my beard. I use without a guard. And then I cut here, like on the outside. You never want to go in. You want to cut here. And then what you want to do realistically is draw like a square. So here is less hair, but more here. So you want to give it that dynamic here where it comes in and is more full in the middle than on the sides. So that gives it that more of that shape that you're looking for. Okay, number 2, you want to cut right above the Adam's apple, as I mentioned in my very first video that I made, which is beard lining. You can look at it. It gives a tool. It tells you exactly where to cut it. And my recommendation for that is, I would say about 3 or 4 weeks in, that's when you want to cut it about right above the Adam's apple. But the rest of the beard, just let it grow for 3 months. People are going to tease you. They're going to tell you it looks terrible, this, that, and the other. But you know what? Who cares? You're trying to grow it out. So it's not going to look perfect in 3 months. It's not. It's a starter beard pretty much. As you can see, I need to trim mine here. This is what I'm talking about. Mine grows faster here, so I have to cut it from inside in there. So that's something else you got to pay attention to. When you grow a beard, when you're doing the trimming, as I mentioned just a second ago, underneath here and you're cutting right here, mine grows fast in here, so I have to trim this down so it looks even and it looks more full here, or else you have more beard hair here than you do here, and it looks weird. So you need to figure out your own beard and how it works. When you grow a beard, what you need to do is when it starts itching, you need to exfoliate. I use a Simpson Chubby 2 brush with shaving soap, and what I do is I just lather it on my face and then I take a shower with it. That's a perfect exfoliant. That's exactly what it's designed to do. But after a certain period, I'd say like a month and a half, maybe 2 months, it'll stop itching on you. And then when it stops itching, then you won't really feel it again. And that's when you really have to start worrying about the dandruff and the dryness and all other stuff that comes with it. That's when you want to start using a beard wash. That's when you want to start using moisturizer and maybe even styling products to get to the point. I like to sometimes put my in a handlebar like this. Here's something else that you want to pay attention to. When you're cutting here, when they're cutting your hair, you want to make this to where it blends into the beard. You don't want to have one set of hair here and one part of the beard here. I'm telling you, if you look this in public, you will see this all the time. You will see like a beard and you'll see more hair, and it doesn't look like a smooth transition here. And that just, I don't know what it is about me, but it just bothers me. So that's something else you want to pay attention to when you're looking at it, because you want it to look fine. You want it to look neat. Okay, this is another point here. You want to make sure here, not to make this, because you naturally have a line here, you just want to follow it. So anything above that line in here, you want to cut it. So right here is a cheekbone for me, right here. So if I had hair up here, which great, I do have some, a little bit, but not much. So I'm very grateful for that. So I just cut it here. As you can see, I have a natural line. A lot of guys, they have a natural line right here. Just follow the line. There's no reason for you to cut lower than that, in my opinion. If you want to have that style, then I guess go for it. But For me, that's not something I'm interested in. Okay, so here's something else you can do. Right here, you start cutting these. If you start growing a mustache, even if it's a beard or mustache, this will start picking here at your lips, and it actually is annoying. It really is, and it'll bother you when you're talking, when you're eating. It's annoying. So the best way to trim a mustache is smile like this, and you can see even on mine right now. You see how I have hair here? You could take mustache scissors and cut this here around, and then you may have one or two here that'll go back into your mouth later like this, and you cut those as well. So that's very beneficial, the smiling part. If you don't smile when you trim this right here, it's gonna keep annoying you. You just start missing stuff. Is there anything else that y'all recommend down below in the comments? This is all I have in my head. This is how I take care of mine. I trim it, I wash it twice a week, just like I wash my hair twice a week. Make sure to tell you guys, hey, 3 months. If you can't grow it, maybe do what the other gentleman recommended, the client that we had. And if y'all have any comments, if you guys want any product recommendations, please leave them down below. And y'all have a nice day.